every way, every fashion, out physical to us, out through us, much more disciplined than us. And I feel we were overconfident and overlooked them as if they was just gonna hand us the game. My hat's off to everybody involved with South Carolina State, especially secondary. They got a corner over there that I think should be recommended for the NFL. I'm pretty sure he is, but the boy can play. And he should get his shine on. But we tried our best and we got our butts kicked. That's it. Let's do it.
Questions? Start here in front.
Jean-Jacques Taylor, the undefeated. What did you sense during the week that made you think maybe you guys were overconfident?
I didn't sense it during the week. I sensed it during the game. During the game, because we was a little like a days ago. We didn't have that fight. We had it in the locker room before the game because we turned up. But it was just something missing. And when you look in their eyes, you see something was missing. But I just gave them a good old-fashioned talking to, and I told them I'm proud of each and every one of them because they accomplished some wonderful things. They accomplished things that had been accomplished in quite some time. And there's no reason to hang your head down and don't hate on our opponent because they played their butts off. I told them to speak and lift their opponents up. And let's regroup. What happened today, I can fix that. And I'm gonna fix that. I'm already in the process of fixing that. And I know the problems. And I got the solutions.
We'll go here in the front and we'll get in the back.
Coach Prime, James Hill, BNC Sports. When you look at coming into J-State, getting your team back on the scene, back in the Celebration Bowl, and you just alluded to it, going forward, you have more things to offer. Just talk about going forward.
We've already started the process with the recruiting, with new facilities, with the plethora of things that we're gonna do. We've already started that process. I know I live in the moment because I want to maximize it and dominate it, but my thought process is down the street. I'm already thinking about spring ball, spring match drills, how we can get these kids quicker, stronger, faster, more disciplined. I'm already thinking about that kind of stuff and implementing that kind of stuff. And I've called several coaches around the country to see what they do. Because I'm wise enough to glean from other men.
Far back.
This is Dr. Cavill inside the Hbcu Sports Lab, Kenyatta Cavill. Coach Prime, talk a little bit more about the next steps in the process of becoming champions in terms of a bowl team. You've been through that process more. Can you give a little more insight of what steps need to be taken to get there in terms of the players?
Well,
Mindset.
I don't want to give it away.
That's fair.
We got to get better players in certain positions. We got to get better at certain positions. We got to get better at certain things that didn't work well today. Our defense has never played like they did today. I don't know how many points they gave up. I forgot to score. Once it got to a certain point, I stopped looking. But we never do that. We can fix that. We can fix that with just a personnel shift, a personnel move. And we've already started that process.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, my man.
Hey, Prime, Jared Bell, USA Today.
That's my man.
How you doing, my brother?
Way back.
I hear you. Hey, talk about your son Shador and how difficult of an experience this might have been for him, and how he gets back from this.
Well, Shador is even kid. He rock steady. So he never gets too high. He never gets too low. He's not like that. He just was upset at that the game plan didn't work. And what he saw, they had an answer to. And he's a smart kid. So when he's at the line, he's checking off to try to put us in a better situation, but we can't block it. So I got to make sure he's developed properly and he get all the resources that he has to be successful along with his teammates as well.
Coach Prime, Jay Graves Report. Hey, talk to us about, you've only been at Jackson State a little more than a calendar year.
I have been there a year.
And everyone.
I got there in January.
Got there in January.
Mm-hmm.
So, you came in with a vision that you believed in something. Talk to us about what it meant to you that the administration, the AD, everybody got behind you and allowed you to do the things that you needed to do to get that vision to this point.
I'm blessed that Ashley and I are hand in hand, man. That's my brother. You know, we go to dinner probably once a week. We meet, pick up a phone call. He answers on the first ring, and I do too. That's my man. Yeah, like HBCUs would be so much better if we were unified. We had that type of unity, and I told him I'm tired of HBCUs talking about the way it used to be. I'm about the way it's gonna be. And that, see, if I was in church, I'd have got an amen right there. but that's really what it is. And I got someone like-minded. And I think for the budget, I think for the school, example, spring, instead of getting hotels, it would have cost us $125,000 for the spring games that we played. I said, well, we're gonna discipline these kids. They're not gonna go out, they're not gonna get in the streets, and you save that. But I need some new helmets. Okay, that's gonna be about 25, so you're still clearing. So that's the kind of relationship that we have, and I love it. I love it. I thrive on it. And he has a vision, and I have a vision. And combined, man, we could do some wonderful things, and we have done some wonderful things, and we're not done yet. We're not done yet. That's the best thing about it.
Coach, we got time for two more, and they both come from the back.
Good afternoon, Coach. A.D. Drew, Black College Sports Network. Coach Prime, what do you think it is about the MEAC style of play that's allowed the MEAC to win 5 of the 6 celebration bowls, and what does the SWAC team need to do to be able to finally overcome that hurdle in this game?
Well, I didn't watch before. I wasn't really in it and really involved mentally and emotionally and psychologically and physically, period. So I wasn't really aware of the run that they had. But I'm aware of that team played its butt off today and kicked our butts in every fashion. So hats off to them. I don't know what happened yesterday and why the MEAC is this or that, but I know we didn't play our best game, but we didn't play our best game because they played better.
Last one, Coach.
Coach Tolly Carr with HBCU Game Day. You got some players that are moving forward with NFL aspirations,
Yes.
Players like James Houston. How involved will you be with their process now that their playing career is over at Jackson State and they look to move
Well,
forward?
we've dealt with that issue already. I mean, I've been burning up the lines but getting in touch with some of these senior games to get our kids and several of our kids in these games. I'm just dumbfounded that we have a game. We have an HBCU game, right? And I haven't got a call about the team who won the SWAC. So I would like some of our players to play in our game. See, that's the bull junk I'm talking about. How in the world can you win the SWAC? But nobody called me to invite our players that can play, that can flat out play. We gotta get better. We gotta do better. I don't know if it's personal. I don't know what it is, but we gotta do better than that. Guys, let me tell you something, and ladies, this is a blessing. All the media here, all of you here that covered this game, that covered this event, that were here this week or a few days, it's a blessing, man. Because the more attention these young men, as well as these coaches get, it helps HBCUs. And I truly believe that HBCUs is what's now. Not what was, but what's now. Tired of talking about yesterday. Let's talk about today. And if we could just unite and do our jobs and do what we're paid to do, it'd be a beautiful thing. And we could do better. Because I get sick of people talking about a kid as if we're not good enough. That's all of us. Like, we're not good enough for a kid that has 4 or 5 stars. That don't make no sense to me. We're more than good enough. We're more than good enough. And I thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. This has been a wonderful year, but I promise you, we're going to come back stronger and ready and prayerfully prepared. The South Carolina State, God bless them. They kicked our butts. They deserve it. God bless them. Thank you all.
Thanks, Coach.
Y'all waiting for me to jump down. Still athletic.
All right, we got Jackson State players now. Shador Sanders, accompanied by Keontae Hampton. We'll immediately open the floor with questions, so please raise your hand and we'll get your microphone. We'll start here first. In front of her.
Jacques Taylor, Undefeated. Shador, what was the biggest problem their defense presented today?
I would say me just not seeing it, me just not making the right reads and just getting the ball in my hands.
Wilson Jackson from Sports Illustrated. Keontae, this is a question for you. You've been around the program for quite some time. What does a game like this, you know, your career's coming to an end, but what does a game like this mean to you the way that it ended?
I really didn't want to end out this way, but you know, we made it here this far. You know, tipped off South Carolina State. You know, they outplayed us. They made more plays. You know, that's it.
To your right.
Hey, Shador, it's James Hill with BNC Sports. Can you tell us what HBCU football means to you personally, what Jackson State means, and just talk a little bit about the Celebration Bowl?
I feel like the Celebration Bowl was a great experience. I feel like throughout the week we had good activities. The fact that we had barbers just on call, just sitting there all day. Food was pretty good. But it's just a real exciting moment knowing all of our people come to this one stadium right here and pack it out. The atmosphere was crazy, and it's just how HBCU football every game should be.
Right to the right.
Kari Thompson, the Clarion Ledger. Shador and Keontae, can you guys both elaborate on what Coach Prime just said? He said HBCUs are now, not the past. Do you guys agree with that?
What do you mean by that, though?
Like basically HBCUs are the future. They've been overlooked in the past. Do you guys think that you guys are building something that will help other recruits like yourselves look at HBCUs a little harder?
Definitely. I feel like that. You see, player we just signed. So next signing that you'll be able to see, you'll be more players just like us coming to this HBCU in Jackson State.
We just getting started. Prime changed the culture, man. Y'all just stay tuned and be ready for it.
In the back.
Dr. Cavill's inside the HBC Sports Lab, Kenyatta Cavill. This question is for Shador. Many people talk about your maturity and how level you are. Can you talk about your mental process of how you plan to move forward to continue to build on your skills as a quarterback?
Really just go back over the film and just watch throughout the whole season what I was not very successful on, and just like work on that, strive for that. I mean, Tom Brady lost the Super Bowl before, so I mean it's just something in the way right now, and this just really helps us go back, lock in, and just reevaluate everything we did this season.
Thank you.
Time for two more in the back.
Eddie Drew, Black College Sports Network. This is for you, Mr. Hampton. I need you to talk to some of the high school players who did not have an opportunity to sign, and tell them what it is about that HBCU culture that they need to look at HBCUs instead of, or in addition to some of the other schools.
I say here, HBCU is family. You know, they all care about you, alumni, teachers, everybody. It's a family. We all one. So that was the big thing. You know, before I signed to Jackson State, everybody was telling me go JUCO route, don't go to HBCU. They won't help you and stuff like that. But I prayed about it and I chose Jackson State. So I'm just thankful to be here and I'm glad to be here.
One more.
This is Gary Jones from BMH Magazine. This question directed to Mr. Sanders. Do you believe in the concept sometimes a loss is the best thing that could have happened to prepare you for the future? Was this the game that you can say that?
Not necessarily. I mean, I feel like it happens. It's life. You're not always just gonna be successful all day, every day. So sometimes that just happens. But they just had a really good game plan, and they just stopped us offensively, and that just can't happen.
Thanks, guys. I think we got them all. Appreciate you.
He's gonna get out there, yeah. Here's the chance to get you.
All right, we've got South Carolina State football players. I know we've got the Kobe Durant guys. I'll ask that you state your names. You get your numbers covered up. I didn't get your names. My man in the middle. Corey Fields, number 2.
Shaq Davis, number 1.
All right. We'll open up the floor immediately for questions. We'll start here on the left-hand side. We can get them up right here. Please state your name and media affiliation. Thank you.
Jason McDonald, Core 360 Sports. Kobe, that sack, do you think that was what changed the complexion of the game? I mean, the energy after that play really looked like it lifted the defense, and then the offense followed suit.
I think it was a momentum shift. The whole time on the sideline, we was like, we need to make a play. We need to get a sack on them. So coach gave me the call, and I had the opportunity to come free out the edge to get a sack.
Let's start right here with Don. I'm sorry.
Dawn with the Atlanta Voice. I know that there's been a lot of talk around Jackson State all week. I know that had to have been something that motivated you guys to get ready for the game today. What was it specifically?
Well, at first they said we wasn't gonna score 21 points offensively. So we just had to come out, play our game, prove them wrong.
Another thing I was saying, we had a little free time to go around Atlanta. I was in the mall, me and my teammates, and a lot of people was like, "So y'all the team that Jackson State playing?" Like they never heard of South Carolina State. So that was like we looking at each other like, "Oh, okay, well, we already knew we was the underdog." So that was something big on us, especially in the secondary. I was with my guys that was in the secondary with me, and we just in the mall, and a lot of people just stopping us. They're like, "Oh, do y'all play basketball?" No, we don't play basketball. We playing in the Celebration Bowl.
From the back and the right.
Rick Henry, WSTV, Columbia, South Carolina. The way that your season developed, you start out losing 4 of your first 5, and you battle back, you win the MEAC. How did that experience help you to overcome your slow start today?
Can you repeat that one time? Sorry. I was trying to find it. I couldn't find it for a second.
Okay, here I am. Okay, the way your season developed today, you started off losing 4 of your first 5, then you rebounded, and you won 5 of your first 6. The way you guys were able to bounce back this season, how did that overall total experience help you today when, again, you found yourselves down and behind the 8 ball?
I would have to say to be able to deal with adversity. We dealt with adversity all year. We had some injuries that set us back as a team. We had some missed days because of the situations, but just be able to deal with adversity helps bring us to here today.
To the left.
Jamie Walker, Black College Sports Network. Corey, I know you started off rough in this ball game. What was the turning point as far as you actually just kind of focusing and leading this offense?
I would have to say getting all the jitters out and just going and play football. At first, it was just bright lights and just let everything come to me.
In the back.
Hey guys, Cam Gaskins with ABC Columbia. This is for all 3 of you. Just a couple years ago, Buddy Pugh's future with the team was uncertain. We didn't know if he was going to be back with the Bulldogs. Now, having won the Celebration Bowl, what does it mean to you guys to get this win for him?
Well, it means a lot. South Carolina State never been to the Celebration Bowl, so we got an opportunity to bring it home and do it for coach, do it for the town of Owensboro.
I would have to say it means.
Go ahead, man. Sorry.
I was gonna say it means a lot to give Coach Pugh a nice little raid jacket. So that's all I can say.
Wilson Jackson, Sports Illustrated. My question is for Kobe. We talked yesterday, coming from a small town, playing in a big platform like this, to get a win like this, I know it has to feel amazing for you.
As I'm speaking right now, my phone is vibrating like crazy. The town of Lamar, I thank them. They supported me throughout my whole college career, high school career, and just getting this opportunity for them to see me on this big stage, playing under the lights, playing in the Falcon Stadium, it's a blessing.
In the back.
Tolly Carr with HBCU Game Day. My question's for Mr. Davis. You were getting targeted a lot in the first half, and you didn't get them all in that first drive, but you started to win those matchups as the game went along. Can you just talk about what it was like, those matchups against that JSU defense?
I just had to play more physical. I wasn't getting no calls. It was grabbing, pulling, pushing. I just had to stop complaining and just get physical with them back.
Right here to the
Mike Washington, Dr. Cadill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Question, you held the #1 offense in the SWAC to 19 yards, a record. What was the mindset going into this bowl game? Was it to be physical? Was it to block gaps? What was the thought process defensively?
Just holding each other accountable. Knowing that they had a high-power offense, just understanding our assignment, trusting ourselves, trusting one another, and playing for the man that's next to you.
two more questions in the back.
Matt Vereen from Watch Fox in Columbia. Shaq, back to you talking about that defense. Just how much did they help set you guys up, especially on those turnovers, to get you in position to start putting up those numbers on the board?
Yeah, we always count on our defense a lot because when they make plays, they put us in position, give us shorter field so we can punch it in quicker instead of us driving the whole field. So yeah, we really applaud them for that.
Go ahead in the back.
All right, Corey, I talked to the offensive line over here. How you doing? Ernest Rex, MTNV Sports. I spoke to your offensive line, and they call themselves the Dirtbags, right? Talk about them, right, and the challenge that they had to face, and how great of a job they did today protecting.
I would have to say they did an amazing job. The 2 sacks, I'll put that on me for not communicating with them. But besides that, they did an amazing job. Cam Johnson, Nick Tace, Eric Brown, Tyson Gray, and Chris Simon. Best old line I got.
All right, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, South Carolina State head football coach, Buddy Pugh. Coach, if you will, open it up with a statement, and then we'll have questions for you.
Well, it was a wonderful win for us. I still got to give some credit to the entire Celebration Bowl staff. It was a good week for us, and we had a wonderful time here. And to cap it off with this win today, just kind of, it's a cherry on the top of the Sunday. So it was a lot of fun. And to have won the game earlier in the game and to be able to kind of stand there for the last maybe 10 or so minutes of the game and not necessarily be stressed out like we always are in all our games, because all of our games have been close games in our league, was awfully special too. So I got a chance to kind of look around and see the stands, that kind of stuff. So it was fun watching, as the game was winding down at the very end. So I guess I'm going to shut up and let you
Let's start right here in the front. Get a mic here.
Coach Pugh, Keisha J. Kelly, Black College Experience. Last week in press conference, you talked about how you were pretty much against Celebration Bowl, and you felt like that, well, since you were against it, that was kind of like your punishment of not getting in it. You got in it. Not only did you get here, you won it. Talk about this feeling of getting here and winning it.
Yeah, well, now I was against it. I had come to the conclusion that I was wrong as all get out. So now it was something that I was trying to support for the last so many odd years. We just couldn't get here. So, I can tell you now that, that we were, as trying as hard as we could to get here. And I need to be closer. I can walk up a little bit there. But at the same time, it was a wonderful win for us, and you know, I don't know what the heck you asked me now, but at the same time. Next question.
Coach in the back, Joe Cook, 16W APT. Kind of a two-parter, but first, talk about those turnovers, those takeaways for your team. How big was that, and that your team kind of embraced that underdog role and got it done today?
They were big. We couldn't drive the football on them. We got maybe one drive in the whole game. All the rest of our scores was some sort of defensive turnover where we had a short field, and we were able to punch it in that way. It was really more, you know, us using Jackson's game plan, you know, to beat Jackson, because that's what they had done most of their games. They had taken advantage of short fields from the kicking game. Those if you notice, we never kicked it to those guys. You know, it was one of those kind of deals where we came in with a plan to kind of control that a little bit, and then we just hopefully just kicked the ball back to them whenever we could and make them go the distance of the field. And then from there, we were waiting for an opportunity. Once the opportunity came, then we were able to take advantage of it.
Rick Henry, WSTV, Columbia, South Carolina. Buddy, first of all, congratulations. I've got two questions for you. The performance of your defense. When you look at the tradition of South Carolina State, you got 4 guys in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, 3 of them defensive players. How gratifying is it to see that SC State defense rise up and get it done? And also, how gratifying is it to you personally? Because just a couple years ago, the main storyline for SC State football, will Buddy be back? But you're back better than ever, and in a season where Deion and Jackson State were getting all the headlines, you come up and have this big win in the Celebration Bowl.
2 of those Hall of Famers were here today. Harry and Donnie were both up on the stage at the end of the day with those gold jackets on. So you can pretty much bet that, you know, that we were, you know, they had a close eye on their legacy, on their tradition out there, you know, as we played the game. You're exactly right. Our defense has always been the lead dog in our bag. And, you know, we continue to try to do everything we can to make sure we uphold that tradition, because it's a strong one. And when you start talking about defenses, I think our defense over the years, you know, kind of match up with anybody. As far as what else did you ask me, Rick? It was good. It was real gratifying. No.
Ken Rashad, HBCU sports coach. Of all of the games that you coached in your career, where does this win rank? And then the second part of the question is, how many more games do you see yourself coaching in the future?
Here, I knew that was coming. I don't know, and I don't know. Okay. As far as the games rank, when you've been around for 40 some odd years, you know, then they all seem to kind of run together a little bit, but I can tell you this is as big as any I can remember here recently. And then on the second one, I want to coach until they run me off at this point now, and that might not be very long from now, but at the same time, you know, I would like to coach at least for another year.
Open mic broadcast, Joshua Davis. Coach Pugh, congratulations. And what does this win mean for the state of South Carolina, the school of South Carolina? What does it mean?
Well, it means that we got another positive piece of news for our university. And anytime you've been through some of the tough times that we've been through at South Carolina State over the years, and you're looking to try to add to the plus side of things. So, you know, I can tell you that I'm extremely proud that our football team has started this 22 fall semester year off with a winning year. And, you know, we just hope that we can do everything we can to be, you know, a pleasing thought for all of the fans and friends of South Carolina State University.
Coach, let's 2 questions. One, let's not overlook the punting game and how you were able to flip the field, and also the 3 weeks that you used to prepare. Walk us through that, because that's a lot of time to get ready for a team like this.
It was, and you know, we got an opportunity to start working on them almost right off the bat, because we just thought that they'd be the winner of the SWAC. So we went on and started working on Jackson more
Prairie View. But the punter was the MVP of this game, without a doubt. And he flipped the field. We hadn't done a thing on offense at all for the entire first quarter of the game. And he kicks the ball down deep in their territory, flips the field over almost completely. And then we get it and get a turnover down there and get one score. And then another time in the game, we punted the ball. And we had a little bit of a deal where not only did he punt it, but we punted in a way that they didn't necessarily have a chance to actually return them. That was the whole, plan of the whole action that way. We were trying to make sure that they wouldn't, and first of all, they had to play the fake, because that guy looked like he was gonna run. One time, I thought he had crossed the line of scrimmage, and he hit one that very long one, but, that was just kind of what we wanted to do to kind of give ourselves a chance. They had a wonderful, wonderful season of returning punts and kicks, and 23 and 10 were studs. I can tell you both those guys were big time players, and it scared the life out of me. So I was trying to figure out how to keep those guys from beating us by themselves.
Hi, Coach. This is Dawn from the Atlanta Voice. I got a chance to speak to your interim school president this morning, and one of the things that he talked about was that if you all won, you all would try to party like it's 1999. Now, he said that in a recruiting question that I had about what would this mean for the athletic department as well as the school as a whole. So from your standpoint, what does this Celebration Bowl win mean for the school and the program itself?
Well, it's another starting tradition of South Carolina State football. We've had a lot of good times, and I got an opportunity to play for Coach Jeffries and all of the different kinds of things that went on when he was there, and we had some great times then. And I just want our time with Hbcu at the head, to be similar in some ways at the same time. So, it was a wonderful day for our university, for our football program, for our athletics department as a whole, and hopefully we can build on it and do some things to maybe improve some of the other facilities and some other kinds of things around there that could make this something that we could make last for a long, long time.
Got two more, Coach, right here.
Mm-hmm. Donnell Fells, Atlanta Business Chronicle. Coach, there's almost 49,000 people in the building tonight. Your thoughts on that level of support for the Celebration Bowl?
Well, I'm excited the fact that it looks like we've made another step in the progression or the building of the Celebration Bowl Classic that way. And, I'm hoping that we can continue to build on the next time that we do this thing. Let's hope that we have in the 60s, and then on to eventually to the point where we get the whole place filled up. So I'm looking forward to seeing, just how much we can do to improve this game. Even though I think it's a tremendous game for schools our size, I would like to see it become even bigger.
Last one in the back, Coach.
Good morning, Coach. Well, good evening, Coach. Back here in the yellow hoodie, Dwayne Nash with the Yard HBCU Sports and Hero Sports. Let me first off start by saying thank you for being my Monday morning entertainment during the weekly press conferences. I swear I got a laugh out of you every week. Thank you. But my question is, can you give us a preview of what your first conversation is going to be like with your good buddies Rob Broadway and Sam Washington of North Carolina A&T?
We've got a pact going that once we all retire, that we will be at each other's houses. When we go to Greensboro, Sam's in charge of entertaining us, and when they come to Orangeburg, then I've got that responsibility in Orangeburg. So, we just have a good time with each other. These guys have beat up on me. They got me now at the point now I'm scared of them. But I'm trying to figure out how to get a win against Sam, because Sam has been really ugly to me here recently. But at the same time, they were pulling for me. Our coaches in the league, I've heard from every coach in the MAC in the last couple of days, trying to give me encouragement, that kind of stuff. And we're pretty tight-knit bunch. And, let's hope that, some of the other guys that's in our league will have an opportunity to experience what I've experienced here today at some point.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time.
All right, folks, just a bit of an announcement. We are thank you all for coming and being here. We appreciate you guys for joining us for this Celebration Bowl. As you all know, the commissioner of the MEAC, Dr. Darius Leonard, is transitioning at the end of, this is his last Celebration Bowl. And what a way to send him out. He would like to say a few words to you guys and, take any questions you may have.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jakes. Way to go out, man. I'm gonna tell you, I'm a happy camper right about now. But it warms my heart to have the vision to ask ESPN to have a postseason bowl game. And this happened in 2004. And not to give up on the vision. And so I didn't know how the game was going to turn out. I know how I wanted it to turn out. But to see the crowd increase and the fans, and it just warms my heart. And I want to thank the media for covering the MEAC, covering the SWAC, covering HBCU. So with that, I will open it up for any questions you might have, but thank you guys for supporting HBCU.
I have a question. No, not a problem. If you're going up, yeah. All right, Dawn Montgomery with the Atlanta Voice, right here to your corner. Hi. As you're transitioning out, what do you think is going to be the biggest challenge for the next person coming in your position?
It's to continue to improve the MEAC in all aspects, and that is the Cricket Celebration Bowl, and that is getting corporate America to invest in the MEAC, and to continue to provide an excellent experience for our student athletes across the board. And this is one of those experiences, to give these student athletes a bowl experience, a bowl week. And these are lifetime memories. And so I think that Sonia Steele is going to be a tremendous commissioner, and she's going to continue to move the MEAC forward.
Ernest Ricks. Good. Ernest Ricks, MTNV Sports. I'm over here.
Okay.
We spoke yesterday, and you talked about how much you pushed for this bowl. I mean, how much you wanted this to happen. I want to know for you, what's today like the greatest part of your vision that you wanted to see happen? And if not, like what's the very next part? What's the end goal for this celebration bowl?
I really want to fill up the Mercedes-Benz Stadium to its capacity. I mean, I think it's about 80,000 or whatever that capacity is, and that's possible. No one thought, well, I won't say no one. There were very few people who believed Dennis Thomas' vision, and when you work for a decade to get people to believe in your vision, then it's just a humbling experience for me to walk out today and see the vision come to fruition. And I'm very proud and I'm very humble as well.
We'll get two more in, Coach. One right here. Dr. Thomas, James Hill with BNC Sports. Congratulations on a phenomenal career and all your endeavors going forward in the retirement. Can you talk a little bit about the renewed interest in HBCU football? You were an All-American at Alcorn, and we see a lot of guys over the years went to PWIs. Now gentlemen are coming back home, so to speak, and playing at HBCUs. What do you see? And just describe that conversation, please.
Yes, I think we have to appreciate the present and the future. You have to recognize the past. And we were getting 4 and 5 stars back in the day, but they were not rated as such. And what we're gonna have to do moving forward is, it's more than about the student athletes, the 4 and 5 star. We're gonna have to cultivate the mamas and the papas. And we're gonna have to cultivate the coaches. And we're gonna have to cultivate the handlers. Because if you don't do that, the student athletes are gonna go where the, what I call the bling, where all the 300,000 foot weight rooms and all the recreational swim slides and all this stuff that's out there that has nothing to do with the success of an individual. The success of an individual depends upon your hard work, your discipline, your perseverance, your motivation, your determination. That doesn't cost anything. That lies intrinsically within you. And so until we educate and get the mamas and the papas and the others to see value in HBCUs, that you can go anywhere in the world from here. And that's been proven. Lately, you have a guy by the name of Darius Leonard from South Carolina State, 2nd round draft choice, defensive player, rookie defensive player of the year, all pro, from right here. And people want to message that you can't get to the pros from HBCUs. And we all know that's a fallacy, because it's been proven time again and again. So, but we gotta go grassroots.
Last one.
Kenyatta Cavills, Dr. Cavills, inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Me and Commissioner Dr. Dennis Thomas, I want to say thank you. Congratulations for all your accomplishments. Thank you for the opportunity to cover you all these years and learn a lot of the history. With that said, in a statement, what would you want others to think about you when they think about your legacy in terms of HBCU sports?
Well, first and foremost, I'm from the country. I'm from a small town in Heidelberg, Mississippi. And I'm proud of that. And when you're from the country, if someone tells you that you're a good man, that's the highest compliment that you can have. So I want people to think of me, Dennis, he was a good man, but also that he tried his level best to help student athletes to be better citizens, to be better people, be productive citizens for our society, and get educated and get a degree, because sometimes people with degrees are not educated. And so we want to educate them in a holistic way, and then so they can get their degrees.
Commissioner, thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you.